Cicadas.
Although I love
for the first time in
Cicada,
like
cicada.
No,
100 years.
no.
Two different. Well, this is what I read.
There's
Two different times.
two different kinds of cicadas.
Yes, two different
coming.
times are coming.
The good cicadas and the bad
But
cicadas.
for the first time in many, many years.
No,
And so-
every 17 years this happens.
Well,
Okay, everyone. Time to catch up on the latest whirlwind theater drama going on in the lives of Hollywood's favorite and nowadays all-time political commentator, Sunny Hostin. For a long period now, The View has been in near total damage control mode, and the last under casualty from it all? None other than Sunny herself. The fallout of the major studio is much awaited gossip going around in town. So buckle that seatbelt, because this one has it all. Controversy, meltdowns in careers, and of course, the Hollywood ability to turn on its own.
About my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that.
Let's start with what got everybody brewing. Sunny Hostin, as one of The View co-hosts, isn't shy about her opinions. She makes quite bold and, let's just say, polarizing remarks on air for years now. For anyone who has been following, that's no news. What breaks the news now is that it has all gotten worse in recent times. In the last month particularly, her comments have gone viral for all the wrong reasons, and best believe me, the backlash has been quick and unrelenting. Sunny's cutting comments might just make for hot daytime TV, but turns out it isn't something studios love having on their doors. This is where Universal Studios comes into the picture. Earlier reports claim that Sunny's name has already been inappropriately scratched off from several upcoming projects. Sunny Hostin was already set to appear as herself in many movies, including the much-buzzed Girls Trip 2. An extended scene featuring her View persona was to include her, but Universal decided it was better to pass. And by pass, I mean yank her clean out of the lineup. That's a $3 million paycheck Sunny won't be cashing anytime soon. Ouch. But it was not enough. Sunny was in talks for a romantic comedy role that would see her play a fictional supporting character, a position thought to bring in a cool $5 million. That deal? Also dead in the water. Universal clearly decided that the potential fallout from associating with Sunny wasn't worth the box office risk. And really, who can blame them? Hollywood is all about optics and doesn't want a public relations disaster lurking in the wings.
I'm gonna say one thing, F Trump.
It isn't the first weighty name that has had the axe over some controversial comments, and won't be the last either. Robert De Niro's dreams of his mob film got strangled by Warner Bros., right? The veteran actor found himself completely out of two major films after his series of fiery comments stirred the commotion. What about recent Jimmy Kimmel's teary-eyed moment on live TV? That clip turned into a meme faster than one utters backlash, and it left a scar on his name. Hollywood is known for long punishing stars whose boats rock a little too much. Now, Sunny getting fired will be said to be a simple business decision by Universal, as this studio has to be careful, like the rest of the studios during these disturbing times in the industry. The whole film sector is still feeling the effects of the double whammy of a long strike by writers and general audiences tuning out of blockbuster by numbers consumption. They do not want any accusations claiming involvement in some star thereof about where and when out of the box. Sunny's name will ring in a few headlines, but not those whom any studio would fancy hooked up with at this moment. And if you're wondering, did Sunny see this coming? Well, let's just say that she should have probably. The writing was on the wall. Public sentiment toward The View is changing over time, and most people would be quite tired of that increasingly combative tone towards Sunny, especially with her comments, which are typically laced with arrogance and disrespect for her potential audience. Put this against the growing trend in Hollywood that discourages the use of polarizing figures, and you might start to have a career crisis.
Legal note.
I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime. Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward.
Sunny isn't taking this lying down. Reports suggest that she has been lobbying pretty hard in the background to reinstate her roles. She is alleged to have made numerous appeals to the Universal executives, considering her firing politically motivated. Even if that were not the case, it would be pretty evident that her moves to compromise have not worked. Universal isn't budging, and Sunny's team is reportedly scrambling to salvage whatever they can.
You don't know what affects her. You don't know about her money. Who are you talking about? Shut up, JD. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this. I'm sorry, that was very rude. Stop talking, JD. We'll be right back.
What is so much fun is the way that these arguments reveal a broader societal transformation. Studios are becoming more rigid in casting these days. The time when nothing more than the name of a star was sufficient to justify a project is gone. The audience reaction can murder a film even before it hits the large screen in today's world. And the actual measurer has never raised the stakes higher, with social media echoing every mistake. But how ironic all this is. Hollywood loves a good redemption arc, and this industry knows better than any other how to reinvent a fallen star. Sunny's being dismissed as a setback in the career, yet not at the end of the road. Realizing that many actors, directors, and media personalities have bounced back from more damaging ones helps here. What remains to be seen is whether such self-awareness in Sunny exists to adapt and pivot. If her past is anything to go by, it may be a tall order.
I see you. I see you over there.
I have a very quick statement.
It's not going to be that quick.
Pete Hegseth has denied any wrongdoing. His lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. No charges were ever brought.
You rushed me for that? We'll be right back.
Sunny's present situation also brings forward questions about the future of The View. An institution of daytime television for years, The View has been facing a dip in its ratings recently. With a breakup of Sunny's ties, the mess of her co-hosts, and all those interminably long hikes in ratings, it is certainly doubtful whether the show can command viewership in the long term. Is it the beginning of the end for The View? Only time will tell. Currently, the best thing for Sunny to do might be to lay low and allow the storm to pass. Hollywood, after all, has a short attention span. Public opinion is, in fact, quite surprisingly forgiving. If she plays her cards right, she might just find herself back in the game. But if her most recent conduct is any indication, do not hold your breath. Sunny's firing is a warning message to anyone in the spotlight. When the tide turns, it is better to have a lifeboat handy.